Welcome back to the Xfinity Desk, and join with me here is going to be Tom T Squared Taylor finishing out or rounding out the night, and we've got our match number 3 getting ready to come up here, and that is going to be Team Envyus, who got the Hot 0-3 last night, or Hot 3-0 by Liquid, going up against Team LOL. And now, some more kind of interesting tidbits here is that this LOL squad is actually going to be rocking out a sub here today, and that sub's going to be Ryan.
Yeah, and the thing is Maniac, in order to actually have someone sub, it has to have submit something in writing over to ESL, and it has to be approved. So obviously he has to be dealing with something. Not really sure what that is, but you can see Ryanoob, APG, Heinz, and Ace. Now Ryanoob brings a lot of objective to this team, especially because they have Heinz, who already does that as well. So maybe this could be a little bit of foreshadowing for what we're going to see down the line, maybe giving Ryanoob his chance to prove himself here, potentially to make it on the lineup in 2 weeks when Maniac does end up hanging up the sticks, as he said.
Yeah, now let's not forget he did go ahead and announce that as well. We'll be matching up here today against Team Envyus, a team that was really struggling in the first day, but I'm sure are going to come out and put on a better performance here today. We've got Snipedown, we got Mikwin, we got Pistola, and we got Hook. So of course, this team, like we said, was formed to take out CLG, and there's no weak link on this team. Every one of these players you could arguably say is one of the top 10 players in the game. Pistola has consistently been doing that since he started his career in Halo.
Yeah, and just I'm wondering how consistent these guys are going to be. Yesterday, they went up against the Liquid squad, who ended up losing to E6 today. So again, we're going to find out a lot about this next match. We're going to see if Ryanoob's going to be able to step up here for LOL. I think Ryanoob's a great choice, especially against this specific lineup that they're going up against, because I was talking about it yesterday. While they do have tons of slaying power, they lack in the actual objective area. And Ryanoob, the most ruthless objective player that I've ever seen in all Halos across the board, Halo 1 all the way to Halo 5. He wants to get the win. He doesn't care how it's done. A lot of people voted, I think all the pro players voted as him, as having the weakest shot in there in that Tashi video that they made after last season, but I don't believe that's true at all. I just think that he charges in and just tries to get the job done, and he does have a very solid shot at the same time.
And let's take a look at some of the game types here. Of course, after the veto system, we're going to be matching up on a Fathom CTF, so seeing that make another comeback here today. Truth Slayer, Empire Strongholds. So it's interesting to see Empire Strongholds was vetoed almost every single time during the summer season, but at the finals and during this fall season, we're starting to see it show up more and more.
Yeah, and something to keep in mind is that Empire Strongholds has changed a decent amount, but the meta hasn't necessarily changed. It's still about controlling the pit. We saw yesterday teams, I think it was in the EG series versus Allegiance, that the teams didn't capture the side bases to start. I think that that's a mistake. I would like to see at least maybe one player stay inside the base. I understand where they're coming from, though, because the pit no longer has the overshield, and that's one of the best things to do is stay inside the base and watch that overshield. The overshield has been moved over to outside, and now the saw is found in the security area. So with that being said, again, the meta hasn't necessarily changed, but I do like this pick coming out from LOL because of the fact Fathom CTF, and keep in mind I was talking about how ruthless Ryanoob is with the objective, and Fathom CTF is one of those maps that it only takes a couple seconds to get the capture. You can run it extremely quickly, and then you have Truth Slayer, and we saw yesterday LOL is really solid at Truth at the same time. Well, I don't know if Game 4 was Truth as well. I think it was Truth CTF, but either way, this is a good opportunity for LOL to maybe take one of these games, if not go up 2-0 in this series. I really do like these maps for them.
Yeah, and that was Optic Gaming defeating Luminosity 3-1 in Game 3 to extend the series, but then ended up falling in Game 4. Now, talking about this this LOL squad a little bit further, think of this lineup of Heinz, APG, and Ace. This is a lineup that has actually been playing as a trio for quite some time. They played together at the Halo World Championships under Team Liquid as an organization. I was actually coaching these guys as well, and these three members had a really solid core together, and you know, had a really good showing at Worlds, just barely falling short, only losing 3 games at Worlds, but you know, barely falling to that Denial lineup that was so strong. They're taking games off the former Counter Logic Gaming World Champions. Now putting Ryanoob in the mix, a really aggressive player, is completely different than Maniac, who's more of an anchor as opposed to Ryanoob, who is always flanking. I always like to compare Ryanoob to like a Commonly.
He's very similar to Commonly, and he's also very similar to Heinz, which is going to mean that APG is going to be freed up to slay a lot more, Ace is going to be freed up to slay a lot more, and like you said, Maniac, he's more of a slow type of playstyle. He likes to anchor a little bit more. He's not someone that's going to run in and grab the flag, so he may do that, but he's not going to do it as ruthlessly as Ryanoob's going to do. So again, I think that this is a really solid pickup from them. I think that personally, from teaming with Ryan, he's probably one of the best teammates that I've ever had in terms of just allowing you to play your game and making sure that you're able to do whatever you're most comfortable with. It helps when you have someone like that just creates so much distraction for the other team, and it makes you allocate so many resources towards wondering where that objective is going to actually go.
Now, let's go ahead and take a look at the vetoes and how we ended up with this game type here. Of course, LOL bans Coliseum to start off. Truth then banned by Envyus, and kind of an interesting ban, maybe a targeted ban considering Optic won that game before, and then Stasis being banned by LOL, and then that's going to end up, or ending result is going to be that Fathom CTF, which we haven't seen these teams quite yet play on.
Right, like you said, a possible targeted ban coming out because they were able to win that game. It's their one win so far in the fall season. But the thing is they forgot to target it in the next game, and that's where Truth actually slipped through on Slayer. So again, I do think that this is a really good map pick coming out from LOL. I think that, we've seen it before. They're a strong Truth team. APG hits his shots on that. It's going to be up to Ryanoob to really play well in this first CTF Fathom game, and then for him to hold his own in that Slayer game, making sure that he doesn't go negative or anything like that, because Envyus, they have so much slaying power.
We've seen them build those giant leads, but also throw them at the same time.
Yeah, that's true.
Now, this LOL squad, it's going to be really cool to see them play because at this point, they've got nothing to lose. They've lost their organization. They're losing their fourth. It's already been determined as of just a couple days ago. Their coaching situation is kind of up in the air. Their manager situation has to be changing. This team their backs are against the wall. They're stuck here for the fall season to grind it out. They're not going to lose their spot yet. And at this point, week 1, day 2, nothing to lose. They have everything to gain, and I can absolutely see all 4 of these players really start to shine here.
Someone that was shining yesterday was APG, especially in that Truth CTF game. He had a really impressive shot, and that's what he's known for. He's known for having one of the best shots throughout Halo. I remember first playing him in Halo 3, and it was a specific construct moment where he flew out towards me and was landing a bunch of shots, and I had to back down, and I was just like, wow, this guy actually, like I said before yesterday, he's a turret when he's shooting well, and just starts taking down your shields, and next thing you know, landing the perfect shots on you. So again, I do think Ryanoob going to be able to open up APG so he can do his thing. It's going to be up to these guys to really perform here. I think that if it's one of the best pickups that they could potentially have. Right now, the strongest players that aren't in the Pro League probably would definitely be Ryanoob, Straight Sick, Cloud, Rami, a handful of guys, but those are some guys that come to mind immediately to me that deserve to have their chance to potentially make it in here. I know that they all are kind of forming their own team. I think they went to Chattanooga and got second right behind that E6 group and put up a pretty decent fight. But yes, those guys, all very talented players. We saw a lot of these guys in the actual Pro League last season, and now they're Ryannoob's making his debut.
And like I said, I'm really excited for this because Envy is going to be coming off hot today. There's no way that those players, the Pistola, the Snipe Down, that those guys are Ian Hook as well, are going to roll over and take 2 losses in week 1. And like we said, Pistola here, known as one of the greatest and sneakiest players to ever play Halo. I mean, he was coined, or somebody started calling him the Wizard, and nobody could argue that fact. He was just always so sneaky, moving around the map, just pulling off ridiculous things out of nowhere.
Yeah, I want to see a lot from Pistola today. I want to get a little bit of intel on what his play style is going to be, because his play style hasn't necessarily changed throughout the Halos. He's always, he's really great at staying alive. He's really great at slaying. But again, the one thing that I'm worried about for Envy is their lack of objective work. They don't have someone like Commonly. They don't have someone like Heinz, like Ryanoob to go in there and get the job done. I want to see these guys come out and show their full slaying force, because it reminds me of the amount of firepower that they have as the new Optic Gaming lineup too. You know, that Frosty, Royal 2, those guys really slay, but they do have Snakebite who goes in there and works on the objective. So who's going to step up? Who's going to be the one to go in there and make a difference?
Yeah, I mean, we saw Snipedown doing a lot of objective here, more than he may have been doing a little bit in the past there, but you know, at the same time, you know, you got the team that if Envy falls to LOL here, just imagine what they must be thinking. You know, LOL, arguably the worst team in the league at this point, just based on what has happened and, you know, what we saw from them in the summer season. Yeah. But like we said, they can still have a lot to change, and with nothing left to lose and everything to gain, you know, talk about pressure. You know, you either excel under it or you collapse under it. And this is a team of multiple, you know, tournament winners, the global champion, national champions, things like that. This is a really, really good lineup.
Well, what's always plagued this lineup, or at least this team before when they were Optic Gaming last season, was they would always win one game and they would always be really close to winning another game in the series. And once they lose that really close game, they really just get deflated and defeated, and then you see them lose a lot of their series 3-1. And it's just a matter of stringing it together, getting momentum, getting past that hump. Once you get past that hump and you start gaining that confidence, it just makes things that much easier.
Right now, CTF, Fathom, and that is going to be first 3 captures to win. We've already seen this played once here today. Let's go on board with Ryanoob, the newest pickup, the sub here from Maniac.
Right for the flag.
And just like that, you called it. The most aggressive, fastest player that we generally have seen.
Ooh, that nade could have bounced off the wall a little bit better for him. He misplaced that one a little bit, but the whole area was open for him to push into the flag. I think he changed his beginning strat. He usually goes right in and pulls that one, but he elects to go over there and try to get the slay, misses the nade, and kind of jumps right into it. But it looks like Hook's going to be the one to go and get the objective, and this is exactly what I want to see. You do have enough slaying power. You know, Hook was the #1 fantasy player last season, but you did have Snipedown, who was in 2nd place right behind him, so you don't have to worry about slaying that much if you are Hook, and you can go in there and get that flag out, and there it goes. There's the return. Envy getting the first cap within 45 seconds.
And that camo railgun by Mikowin absolutely led the charge there. He picked up almost 3 kills. You see Ace trying to challenge in this treehouse. Great nade by Mikowin. Not able to grab the kill, but he does know there's another player over there. Spots AVG in the engine. And right now, Mikowin's just wanting to hold down top center and make sure treehouse is secured. Hook is going to go ahead and assist him as they start to push in the base, and a great Spartan charge. You saw that out of Maniac last season at the finals during relegation, but not going to work out overall as that flag is being pulled.
Yeah, Snipedown in a pretty prime position here, and you saw Mikowin go in there and charge towards the flag, so they've definitely taken note of what their weaknesses are. Maybe Mikowin before would have stayed up there and slayed, which it could have went either way for him. It wouldn't have been a bad play to stay and sit up there, but at least you got to go and take those type of risks to see what your team's really made of and see if you can go in there and count on them to follow up and get top center and get your back as you can push in towards the flag. But I'm just really impressed to see Hoop going in there and pulling that flag and running that so they can get that first capture. But keep in mind that the railgun is coming up here pretty shortly. Camo's coming up soon, so controlling the middle of the map is imperative.
And as you can see on the radar, there were just 2 players top center. Looks like they're thrusting around up there. Railgun is going to spawn here. Hines waiting to pick up that new weapon. Like to see him. He is going to try to take this to top center potentially, but he's going to miss that railgun shot. However, Ryanoob is going to take over top center, grab that camo, but sniped out, waiting for him. Great job listening to the callouts.
Yeah, nice job. And that's something that we didn't see from Envy yesterday. Remember on that Rig Slayer game, or whatever that Rig game was, when Hook was you know, full shields and there was a player no shields right to his left, and ended up dying eventually to that player. So these guys have fixed the communication issues. I'm sure Alumni is sitting there with these guys, making sure he's coaching them up. And this has been a pretty impressive start so far from Envy.
I mean, Mikowin led that charge. You can see just how impactful railgun camo can be. We've seen it time and time again, but Mikowin is a player that can control power weapons, whether or not it's the railgun, sniper rifle, a shotgun, whatever the case may be. He knows to change up his play style and play accordingly.
Well, look at this play from Hoop. You know, we saw Richie Hines with the railgun charge out towards the enemy base, expose his back, and end up dying, and that means that Ryanoob ended up dying with the camo. Hook eventually dies, but I do like that he rotated up there. I was hoping that he was going to jump top center, but that's something that you got to be aware of, is just making sure that you're immediately getting out from the bottom of the map and getting up into the priority areas with that railgun.
Oh, and Ace missing a few shots, gets taken out by Snipedown. Great heads-up play by him to go ahead and commit to that fight, as it was a 2v1 situation. Those are the ones you're going to want to win. Hook, however, has the railgun, just grabs a double kill. We'll see who wins this battle. Looks like both players are just, in fact, going to be backing down. Hook is actually taken out as well, so that's going to be no more railgun here.
Good shots from APG. APG did a really good job staying alive, because if he would have overextended and tried to get that trade with the guy in elbow, that would have been 3 dead for the side of LOL, and then everyone from Envy would have started flooding in extremely quick and pulled the flag. That's still Mikwin over there. That was the player that he was fighting on the elbow. Ooh, it looks like Snipedown gets taken in, no shields, but nice shots from APG, at least getting him pretty weak. Now, this is where we want to see Snipedown going and getting in there for the objective, but Heinz playing a little defense. Nice trade, though, coming out from Snipedown. And now the railgun is back up. Camouflage coming up here pretty soon, so Pistola is going to elect to run the flag. Let's see if he can get around the corner. He can't, so nice job from LOL to shut that down.
All right, now Heinz and Ace are working together to focus on this return. Snipedown coming off a spawn, trying to contest this flag. Not going to be able to do so. However, Hook, with that new railgun, is going to start picking up a few kills here. Now, good job, Ryan, with this flank. Not able to win that 1v1 against the Wizard, though, and Pistola is able to stay alive.
Yeah, nice Spartan charge coming out from Pistola. Now we're on board with Hook, who's making his way over towards the blue elbow area. He's going to get double teamed, so nice teamwork coming out from the side of LOL. Not sure why he doubled back into that nade, so nice placement there from Heinz. Looks like Snipedown has the flag bottom center as well, so curious to see Snipedown when he pulls the flag. He runs it bottom center a lot. We saw that in Stasis yesterday. It's not the worst decision in the world, but now you're putting your teammates in a really awkward position, because that's a pretty easily grenadable spot, but no one in position here on the side of LOL to stop this one. It looks like this one's going in pretty quickly, and they pop that one in, so Snipedown bringing it to the 50-yard line is enough for his team to be able to put that one in, and that's the type of stuff we weren't seeing from these guys yesterday. Hot start. Let's see if they're able to finish it off.
I mean, and they are showing exactly, what we wanted to see out of them. A team that is going to be able to compete with the best, potentially make a run for the finals and try to contest.
This is good, though.
Powerhouse of Optic.
This is good for LOL. They need to kill Hook there. Hook, no shields, ends up staying alive, gets his shields back, starts fighting Ryanoob, and that means Mikwin's able to kill Ace, which was the flag guy. Heinz getting 1 kill, but they don't have the numbers now. It should be an easy return here for the side of Envy. It looks like Hook's going to hop on this one. No shields. He's fighting Heinz. Is Heinz going to be able to get the kill? He has help coming in from Snipedown, so the 2 top fantasy players from last season working together, and it looks like they're also moving in towards the flag while they're getting the slays, so impressive objective work coming out from Envy.
And it looks like 3 members now, players dropping left and right. Pistola now is trying to be a distraction here in LOL's base, but they do not hold top center. However, not going to matter if you're able to run it this quickly and you have cover shooting in from window with his teammates here. Close 1v1 battle. APG needs to win this, and he does.
So it's a 2-on-2. The flag's going in pretty quickly. They do have good map position advantage. It's up to Ryanoob, the sub, to get that nade. He doesn't get the kill, and that's going to be it. 3-0. Game 1 going over to Envy. And look at the slays. It really wasn't that uneven. Yeah, APG only 6 kills. Ryanoob only 8. So maybe if they were to individually step up the slaying just a little bit more, it would have been a little bit closer. But overall, that's what we want to see from Envy. Envy needs to be ruthless with the flag, whether that's Snipedown, whether that's Hoop. They need to have confidence in one another that they're all really good slayers. And once they start practicing and getting that confidence of running the flags, then they're going to be able to really just start to be the Envy that we know that they can be, the team that could potentially take down Optic Gaming.
And that was definitely a convincing Game 1 win here for Team Envyus, but series is still far from over. Like we said, Truth Slayer, we feel like kind of benefits LOL a little bit more here than Envyus, but like we said, is in addition to that, it is a Slayer game type, and Slayers are going to probably benefit Envyus a little bit more than any other team besides Optic.
Well, since they lost Fathom Flag and since it was 3-0, this is an absolute must-win coming out from LOL. They do not want to go into Empire Strongholds down 2-0 against a pissed-off Envy squad that lost to Liquid yesterday. And Empire Strongholds is one of Hook's stronger game types. He's obviously very good with his map movement and up close has great reflexes. I'd be a little bit worried for the side of LOL, because Strongholds just in general is one of those game types that takes a lot of teamwork, communication, and strategy. It could move too quickly for them. So if they don't win this Truth Slayer, they're going to be in serious danger of losing the series.
But we've got these players jumping into the game already here. Let's not waste any time. It is going to be Truth Slayer, game number 2 in this best of 5. First 50
see
kills
Pistola
to win.
screen. I want to see Pistola screen.
We can definitely do Pistola here, and he was, you know, making some moves here in that Fathom CTF game. So the Wizard, you know, always known, and he was always fantastic at controlling, you know, towers, whether or not it's Pink Tower or on Pit, if you're controlling Snipe Tower, whatever it is, he's just so good at his map movements and map rotations, and that's where he got the Wizard from.
Let's see what happens in the beginning of this game. Obviously, getting Pink control is huge, making sure that you can control that camo. I like that APG immediately went for that one and ends up getting a nice grenade. He should be able to secure this one. There's another no shields player. That's Heinz trying to take down Snipe Down. Good kill from Heinz, making sure that he at least trades kills there. But it does go over, the camo does go over to APG, but I would like to see Ace not go over to this way. He should have been pushing over towards the Pink side with his teammate to make sure that he is making sure that APG stays alive. And now he's in a little bit of a pickle here. He's fighting 3 players at once. Everyone's going to be collapsing on Envy, so Ace, a little bit of mispositioning there is going to cause Envy to be able to push up top center, but they still do have Heinz and APG controlling Pink, so it's not the end of the world for them, especially since Heinz got a double kill.
And right there, Ryan Noob is starting to push over a car. They know Envy is still spawning over here. Pistola is a little bit weak, but there's too many members of Envy at car side, and they just help him out and pick up yet another kill. Sword in the hands of Hook. We've seen how prevalent this weapon's been, but APG, crucial stick to take that player out.
Yeah, and we are tied 7-7 at this point. And APG, nice shots on to Hook. Hook, though, gets the better of him, and that was pretty impressive shots coming out from him, but it's only a 2-kill lead. Snipe Down grabbing that fuel rod. Mikman picking up perfect shots onto Heinz. This one could get out of control pretty quickly if Snipe Down's able to get into a powerful position with this fuel rod. Typically, you see players try to control top of the base or get into Pink side, not expecting him to charge car side anytime soon. All he has to do is lay down shots with his battle rifle and just hold down this bubble area over towards the red side, so if anyone charges out, he can just kill them. But he ends up overextending, gets taken out, and that's not what you want to do if you're Snipe Down. Got to play a little bit more conservative. That could allow LOL to get back into it. Only a 2-kill game. Camo's coming up pretty soon.
And looks like Ace picks up a kill on Mikwin. At the same time, Pistola picks up one on APG. We do have the new camo getting ready to spawn, but currently Pink Tower here is locked down in the hands of Envy. However, having a carbine at this car side of the map is going to be what you want to do to create an opportunity to push over to Pink. That camo is going to be spawning now. It looks like Snipe Down not able to grab it quite yet and ultimately gets taken out. Pistola
APG
forced
again.
to back up.
Nice. Oh no, a couple shots going into APG. He's going to light him up from his teammate Ace, and then Ace throwing a nade into P2, but fortunately for him, it doesn't hit his teammate. This is a good opportunity coming out from the side of LOL. It's 14-14. They have camo, they have fuel rod, they have P2 positioning, but so many players are red 2 right now, and they're just getting picked off, so not a good job collapsing on the spawns, but still APG alive with that camo. Let's see what Ryan is going to be able to do off the spawn, making his way over towards P2, trying to help out his teammate. Now he just needs to slow play this one, just crouch off radar, not overextend. That's going to be a nice kill onto Mikwin. Good teamwork coming out from these guys, but he ends up dying. Possibly could have slow played that one a little bit more, but overall this is a pretty good game coming out from LOL. They're keeping this one close, and that's really all that you can ask after that first game being so one-sided.
Yeah, we'll see what happens once they hit that halfway mark. Still really close.
That nade, oh my gosh.
That was amazing nades. There are a lot of nades happening on this map, and a lot of those being thrown top center as well. APG has had both camos here this game. He is trying to stay alive. Probably gets a call out that there's a player below the base. He's trying to help out Ace. Ace does stay alive. That's 2 players dropping below the base. Great job here by LOL, and they take their first lead.
It's just crazy how comfortable APG looks on this map compared to the other maps, as well as LOL as a whole. Again, if they could just put things together like they do on Truth, on Slayer, and on CTF, they'd be a pretty good team. Maybe they should just stop practicing Truth altogether and just focus on playing the other game types, because they're definitely really solid at this one, and you can just see how confident APG is when he's moving around.
Oh, and just like that, a good double back here to pick up a kill. Gets that 1v1, grabs the double, sees a player, probably calling it out to Richie Hines over there on the other side of your screen. 1v1 battle going on, but looks like Snipedown and the rest of the crew are coming out to assist. APG essentially just anchoring this base here right now, trying to cut off the angle.
Yeah, this is the same position that Snipedown was in when he ended up having the fuel rod, and we saw Snipedown end up charging car 1. So let's see if APG ends up playing it the right way and not charging, but he does have the sword. So let's see if he's able to pick up this kill onto Micklin, charging in there, gets hit, taken down to no shields, but either way, still a good pickup. Everyone's spawning over there towards his left. He needs to crouch off the radar and keep his shield, so not aware of where the spawns were, mainly because Pistola coming in there with the camouflage. Let's see if he's able to bring his team back. They're down 2 kills.
They're all stuck in the base.
They're all stuck in the base, you're right. So this is a really good opportunity for Envy.
And if he grabs his new fuel rod and takes that over to like Pink 3 or even collapses on the base, which would be a good, not a bad decision either at this time, but looks like Rhino does catch that player just moved. Ace doesn't know the player drops, shoots that fuel rod, and he grabs a kill. Lead change back in the favor of Envy.
Yeah, and Pistola needs to utilize the rest of his camo. It's running out pretty quickly, so he does have intel that these guys are over there, but he needs to either get into a better position or he needs to just use his camo and get some kills immediately, because now he's going to be out of camo in the middle of the open, kind of. This isn't the best spot to be with the fuel rod. Fortunately from him, there isn't any split spawns or pressure coming out from the blue side of the map, so he's safe here for now. But there's the spawn in the elbow, or in the bubble behind him, so let's see if he's able to do it. No, Ryanoob. So yeah, just a little bit of misplay with the fuel rod, and it looks like Ryanoob is going to be able to pick that one up, but Snipedown has one of his own.
Still really close game. 2 fuel rods on the map right now. Pink side over to Envy, car side over to X-Optic or LOL here, but Snipedown, great shots. Wants to be able to pick up this kill. It is going to be Ace. Ace decides not to go ahead and charge into the base. Now Snipedown, only 3 shots left here in this weapon.
So that was a good play coming out from Ace, but Ace just a little bit too far away for that close range weapon. So Snipedown is completely out of ammo in that fuel rod, but he does have the battle rifle, laying down some nice shots. That's a 7-kill, 8-kill lead. Now all 4 dead with camo coming up. Big opportunity here for Envy to walk away with this one. They are getting split spawns though on the side of LOL. They got 3 different spawns there, but Envy's on top of every single spawn and kills all of them right when they come back alive.
I mean, look at the player outlines. You got a player at red, a player at blue, a player in pink. They're everywhere on this map applying this pressure. This game was 32-30 just a moment ago, and that most recent camo and fuel rod between Pistola and Snipedown really just took away this one.
Yeah, and Snipedown, one of the best battle rifles in Halo 2, Halo 3, moving up to all of a sudden Halo 5. You know, he's just not missing shots with this weapon, so it's going to be up to the guys on LOL to really get pink control here. Camouflage isn't coming up anytime soon. Looks like he took another player to no shields across the map with a splinter nade too, so this is what Snipedown does best. He's such a master of picking off one-shots and rotating around the map and easily getting the first shot on you, and he already has a really good shot, so it makes it really hard to kill him, and that's why you see him get so many multi-kills. Killing Frenzy now coming from Snipedown, and it's only an 11-kill lead. Without that killing Frenzy, this would be pretty much a completely even game. So definitely, yeah, MVP Snipedown coming out in this Truth Slayer game, and it's going to be almost impossible for LOL. Yeah, it is impossible. This one's over. 50-38 going in the favor of Envy. Everyone from the side of LOL playing pretty solid. You can see pretty even stats across the board. Maybe not the best performance coming out from Ace, but the good thing from them is they have a lot of assists, so they can at least take that away into this next game and be like, hey guys, we are using really good teamwork. We just need to, you know, put things together here. And they had a couple mistakes, but nothing too big that cost them the game. It's just Snipedown really found his groove, was really getting a feel for that game, and then went on that huge spree, and that was the big difference maker.
And those were numbers that we never saw at a Snipedown while he was on Evil Geniuses as well, so he might be starting to find his stride on this new team. We knew Envyus was not going to be the same Envyus we saw yesterday. The communication was clearly muffled. There are people not responding to certain callouts, definitely demonstrated against Liquid, but now Just watching these guys play a hot 3-0 on that CTF game, an 18-6 performance out of True Slayer. I know anybody with him on your fantasy stats has got to be pretty excited about that one, and all of a sudden we got a 2-0 Envyus lead.
Well, the way that Snipedown plays is he's at his best when the enemy team doesn't know where he is. And that's what we saw that game, where he was crouching around the corners, making sure that he was getting the first shot, because he's listening to the communications the entire time, and he knows that he already has the flank on 1 or 2 guys. So once he gets that 1 kill, he's immediately still full shields, or not even very weak, because he doesn't really miss any shots. You only get 1 or 2 on him. Gives you the 4 with the battle rifle, and there's really not much that you can do because he's already on top of your other teammates. And it's like, you got to worry about Mikwin, you got to worry about Hook, you got to worry about Pistola. You're not really thinking about Snipedown crouching around a corner.
Right, and Snipedown is one of those players that's not going to commit to a fight unless he knows he's going to win it. A lot like we discussed with Spartan yesterday. Extremely talented player. I think their playstyles don't match up perfectly because Spartan's a lot more aggressive, but Snipedown being that anchor, just shutting teams down. And if you're going plus 12 in Slayers, you know you're doing something right.
Well, like you said, he felt a little bit more comfortable than we saw with him with EG all last season, and I do think it's because of the amount of slaying power that they have. But we're talking about strongholds now, and we were saying how LOL, if they go down 2-0 in this series, it could get ugly. And keep in mind, this is a very, very fast-paced game type, so we'll see. I mean, this is danger zone coming in for LOL now. They have to take the pit right from the get-go. They have to be on top of these overshields.
All right, and we'll start this one off here with Ace. See if he's able to step this up here for Optic, lead them to a victory here or extend this series. Snipedown instantly dropped off the start. Good opening strategy here for LOL, and you might be exactly correct, Tom. This might be their opportunity.
Yeah, but Mikwin gets a big kill onto Ryanube over there, but he is taken to no shields, does get the green gun into Ace's hands. Everyone's spawning over there on red platform. That means they are going to capture the pit. This is their opportunity. They need to capture blue base immediately. They should have the overshield in their control, and this is their opportunity to not overextend. Ace in really good position here, avoiding some grenades. He needs support outside towards the red fan area. Someone from blue fan needs to come. Looks like he does have some support, but not enough yet. Ola needs to be taken out immediately. Where's the supporting cast coming in from Ace? Nobody comes to help. So Hook coming around, getting a flank with the saw, no one helping outside. So just poor teamwork coming out when that was a really big opportunity missed from the side of LOL.
And just like that, all of a sudden, Control back over the favor of Envy. Looks like LOL is still able to hold bottom mid, but look how fast that is being captured and nobody in position to stop it. So that's a triple cap already coming out for Envy.
This could get ugly really quick, Kyle, because they missed their opportunity. They had such a beginning strat, such a good beginning strat, and that's the first time that I've even been impressed with these guys' beginning strats. Usually that's where I start talking about where they're disappointing me, but that was the best beginning strat I've seen from these guys so far. Love the way that Ace played that one, but where the heck were his teammates when he was sitting there fighting 3 people and getting grenades on all those guys over towards that turbine area? And now you're going up against a team that's up 2-0, that's pissed off up against after their loss against Liquid. You have a sub that's not very comfortable with your strategies. It's going to be very difficult for them to come back.
And Hook just doing or on an absolute tear with this saw, really putting it to use effectively. However, Ryan with that AR is going to be able to take him out. He was out of ammo in that weapon. The new one is getting ready to spawn. Go and take a look. Snipedown also drops here. We got players dying left and right. That's several down here for Envyus. APG really needs to secure this capture. Now, as you, Tom, likes to say here, maybe this is the poor man setup where you don't control bottom mid pit, but regardless, 2 strongholds puts time on the clock.
Well, they're going to be getting the side base, though, for the side of Envy. So when they're doing this, this is when you have to capture the pit, which they're doing, but they're going to be a little bit too late on that. And also, I don't know what's going on with the overshield, though, but it should be dropping pretty soon. So crazy fight going on outside. Whoever's going to be able to win this one, looks like Mikwin picks up a double. Looks like Heinz is actually going right for the burn. He doesn't get it, and he's going to get knocked off the map. So Mikwin coming up clutch, picking up 3 kills total. Also now that's 4 kills total. So a pretty much late extermination coming out from, or not, pretty much a late overkill. Back-to-back doubles coming out from Mikwin. The triple cap back in effect. It's not going to last very long, though. APG with a nice croucheroo there. Maybe that's the momentum that they needed, but Pistola and Hook picking up some kills as well. That's not going to be enough for them. They need to get these guys out of out of the pit, though. They are capturing the side base, but it looks like everybody on LOL has moved over there, but the reset coming in from Snipe Down. Again, this is going to be very, very difficult. There's, not much chance here coming out from these guys. This is the right play coming out from Heinz. Stop the bleeding over there towards blue base. They're immediately going to all rotate towards outside if Envy's ready for this one. It looks like Pistola's going over there right now. I don't think it's going to work out for them. Yeah, Pistola doesn't have many grenades. There's the grenades. So, but now that Pistola's picked up all these nades, it's going to be very difficult for these guys to push out of the base.
And you can just see how well Envy's working together, constantly in close positions. Nobody's kind of going off on their own. You don't have the player just sprinting across map, trying to hide in a corner and be a flank. This team is charging as a 4-man squad.
Yeah, and they're going for another triple cap. Looks like they're going for the ground pound here. Ryan getting double teamed. He's going to have to back off. And this is so unfortunate for them because they're really only going to have one more push. They have to kill both of these guys immediately, start capturing this one. Once they capture this one, they literally have one more push with the overshield coming up. I'm not sure if they're going to elect to go for the pit here immediately or just set up for, something around the 90-second or 90-point mark and then get that overshield because that's how many points Envy's going to have by the time that thing's coming up outside.
I mean, and at this point here, it's pretty much perfect Halo or loss at this stage in the game. Good trade by Ace, kind of your only opportunity there. Hook, and once again, with the Saw, has quite a few kills here with this weapon, but it's already a triple cap, another triple cap momentarily here before that side base is taken. With the exception of that pit going over to LOL to start this one off, they have not been able to gather really any kind of control.
Can't just individually go out there and try to challenge Hoop when he has the Saw, but yeah, he ran out of ammo there, and that's why APG was able to get the kill. But this is pretty much the final push, hopes and prayers coming out for LOL. Looks like they're going to try to get this desperation play over towards the pit. Envy's has to know that it's coming, but looks like they are contesting with only a sliver left. Are they going to be able to get the reset? Looks like it is going to go over to LOL, but here comes the flood. Envy, if they're able to capture this one back, it's definitely going to be game unless they get lucky spawns on the side of LOL, but that's going to be it. This is going to be a 3-0 that's going to be mathematically over, and they aren't going to be able to capture this pit in time. It's going to get contested, and that's it. 3-0. Only 2 kills coming out from Heinz. I'm wondering where he was when everything was going on in the turbine when Ace was fighting 3 players. That was real. What we were watching these guys play, and we were saying Envy was playing really well. We didn't see much mistakes, but watching Ace's point of view there, I really have to question where everybody else was located.
There were a few times where he stayed alive a lot longer than you would expect your teammate or rely on your teammate to do. We didn't see much of Heinz's point of view that game, but obviously 2 kills is a hard loss to walk away from, especially when that was, one of the fastest series that we've seen here so far.
Well, there's nothing that you can do when you make that type of mistake when you're down 2-0 in the series. You have to pretty much play flawless Halo. It's not that hard, actually, in Empire Strongholds to hold this up and know that teams are going to be pushing outside to try to regain control, because what happens is if, say, I'm holding blue base in the pit and then you have red base, right? It's very common for you to go red fan to come outside to blue fan to try to take both side bases, and then all of a sudden, once we have both side bases, we're scoring points, and if you don't go and commit resources to the side base, then we move into the pit, and that's your opportunity. They never even set up to make that happen. They just let Envy charge out. Envy didn't even go for the side base. They just went right for the pit because they got so many slays so quickly.
Yeah, and speaking about the overshield and the Saw on that game, it was definitely in the hands of Envy for the majority of the time, especially Hook was all over that. Now, we do have a winner view available here. We're going to be joined by Mickwin from Team Envyus. Mickwin, can you hear me?
It's a Mick winner view.
Big winter view.
What's up, man?
Guys?
How you feeling? Happy birthday. Belated.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So how pissed off were you guys yesterday? And how motivated were you guys to come out here and just really try to bounce back from that loss yesterday?
Well, the last 2 times we scrimmed them, Liquid, it was really close. They beat us the second time. The first time we won 8-6, and I'm pretty sure we won 6 Slayers. So we knew going into that series that they're one of our hardest opponents, because everybody else that we've scrimmed we've won 9-5 at least.
Yeah, matchups.
Granted, that's just scrims, but
yeah, Yeah, matchup's a big part of that. I mean, you said that you won 6 Slayers. Sorry to interrupt you. Now, I saw today how much you guys turned it around with the objective. Is that something that you guys have really focused on? Because I've been talking about how awesome you guys are at slaying, but you don't have someone in there to get dirty with the objective like a Commonly or a Rynoob or a Hines. But you guys just handled those guys, and you said, hey, we don't need to have this type of player. But I saw Hook immediately go for the flag and CTF Fathom, and that's when I knew you guys have definitely addressed this problem.
Yeah, when we first started playing, it wasn't necessarily getting pulls out. It was actually going back with flags and
Okay.
securing the cap the way that we should have. So that we really, really got down on that. Like, okay, you need to do this. We need to come back. We need to make sure we get these flags. And granted, yesterday we did not show that. Yesterday we just fell apart. But it's a long season. We still have 12 more series to go, and we're not really thinking about yesterday too much. Just every series from here on out is all that matters.
And of course, you guys are back with Alumnite here now as well. We kind of went ahead and called him the 5th man. There's always a little bit of a debate on, who's more impactful. You got the Towie, you got the Symbolic, you got the Alumnite. How does he fit into your team?
Yeah, so during scrims, he's in the call usually, depending on who we play. And he tries to make us say the times of power-ups. He doesn't want to be like a crutch for us. We don't want to use him as a crutch. Like, okay, you hear a lot of teams say, well, it doesn't matter because at the tournament we'll have our coach when it comes to times.
Yeah, that's a horrible
And Marcus
mentality.
really works with us on. Yeah, so Marcus really works on us saying the times. Like, say the time when you get it, say when you got it, and then if we don't remember, he'll remind us. But he wants us to remember, so that's something that he is really good at while we're at home. And he's an ex-pro player. He still plays more than most pro players do in H5 as well. Like, the dude gets on and streams every day for 5-6 hours, and he just knows the game. He understands the game. So when he sees us do things, he can call us out on it. We're like, yeah, Marcus knows what he's talking about. Throughout the time that he's been our coach, there's been a lot of times where he's been like, what were you guys doing there? Like, that was just, you guys need to do this here. And he's usually right. So I would say 5th man for sure.
And then how's your guys' playing situation going on right now? I know, Snipedown was recently leaving the Evil Geniuses Xfinity house as well. So, where are you guys located at right now?
So both Eric and I actually moved. I was living in Atlanta the last year, and I decided that I wanted to come back up to Michigan. So I moved in a weekend. I drove to Atlanta, drove back to Michigan, and in 2 days, and moved all my stuff. And then Eric is in Charlotte at the Envy condos. And it impacted our practice a little bit, to be honest, because I had to take 3 days off, and then he had to take 3 days off to move. So
it's a tiring 3 days too.
We missed out on practice that. Yeah. And then we had to practice while we were tired as well, because the day I moved, I got on and played Halo and scrim that night, when I got back home. So
after all
it was our scrims have been crazy. Like, we're putting in a lot of work, though. I'm proud of us.
Yeah, you guys came out firing today, and definitely looking like a very strong team, and everything, is going to, like you said, it's going to be day by day, and we can't wait to see how this season's going to play out.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I think there was almost going to be only one team that was 2-0 this week.
Yeah.
After this week.
Yeah,
LG
pretty wild.
Up.
Yeah, it could have been, LG, then possibly Optic Gaming going 2-0, and then everyone's pretty much going to be, right there, 1-1, 0-2. So it's going to be really interesting. But, congratulations on your win today, and good luck the rest of the season, Austin.
Thank you so much. Have a good one.
You too. All right. Well, you see, that team's had a lot going on. I know there was a lot of I'd hate to say drama, but a lot of controversy going on when they first formed that team.
Right.
Taking the member from Enigma 6, taking a member from Evil Geniuses, and having both of them come to
Poachers,
Envyus.
man. Poachers.
All right, absolutely. Now, of course, if you like what you saw, and big shout out to Mikwin as well. Like, that team is overcoming a lot and really turned it around from yesterday. But if you like what you saw and you want to participate and get back involved here, put your skills up to the test, maybe get your shot to play against some of these pro players in the HCS, you can always do that by joining into the open circuit. If you want to find out more information there, you can always head over to halo.gg. Now, of course, that is going to do it for match number 3 of the night. We still have the Battle of the Titans coming up after this, and that's going to be Evil Geniuses going head-to-head with the newly formed Optic Gaming, or new organization Optic Gaming here. So we'll have that match coming up in just a few minutes, so don't go anywhere, and we'll be right back after this.